In modern discourse, religion and science are often portrayed as being in constant conflict. However, a closer historical examination reveals that many of the fundamental principles of the scientific method and numerous early discoveries emerged from a deeply religious worldview. Religion served not only as a source of spiritual solace, but also as a catalyst for systematic exploration of the natural world. In this discussion, we will examine how religious traditions preserved and transmitted knowledge, inspired the search for truth, and provided the methodological foundation upon which modern science was built. Preservation and transmission of knowledge. During the Middle Ages, monasteries and church schools played a critical role in preserving the legacy of ancient civilizations. Monks painstakingly copied manuscripts, ensuring that the classical works of Greece and Rome, as well as texts covering astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy, were not lost in the turbulent waves of history. In a time of political and cultural instability, these religious institutions became bastions of education. Their dedication to preserving sacred texts and ancient treatises created an environment in which intellectual inquiry was both encouraged and nurtured. This careful preservation of knowledge was not a mere act of clerical duty. It was an expression of the belief that understanding the natural world was a form of worship, a way to glimpse the divine order underlying all creation. The act of copying and studying those texts was imbued with a sense of mission, a desire to reveal the hidden truths embedded in nature, a religious worldview as the basis for a scientific inquiry. The origins of scientific thought can be traced back to a religious quest for understanding the universe. Early Christian thinkers and scholars believed that the cosmos was governed by divine laws, a conviction that led them to seek mathematical harmony in natural phenomena. Influential figures such as Isaac Newton, Johannes Kepler, and Blaise Pascal exemplify this synthesis of faith and reason. Newton, while formulating his laws of motion and universal gravitation, viewed nature as a meticulously designed system under the governance of a rational creator. Kepler's search for mathematical proportions in the movements of celestial bodies was driven by the conviction that such order was proof of an underlying divine plan. Pascal, renowned for his contributions to mathematics and physics, also delved into the interplay between faith and reason, arguing that true knowledge arises from a harmonious blend of empirical evidence and spiritual insight. These examples illustrate that for many early scientists, religion was not an impediment, but rather a foundational impetus for exploring the workings of nature. Monasteries, universities, and the dawn of the scientific revolution. Contrary to the popular notion of the Dark Ages, the medieval period witnessed significant intellectual activity within religious institutions. The first European universities, Bologna, Paris, and Oxford, among others, grew out of church-sponsored schools. In these centers of learning, ancient texts and Christian doctrine merged to form a new intellectual tradition. Disciplines such as philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, and medicine flourished in an environment where theological and empirical questions were in constant dialogue. The church not only preserved classical knowledge, but also actively encouraged scholarly debate and inquiry. Monastic schools and nascent universities became places where discussions ranged from spiritual matters to systematic observations of the natural world. This interplay of faith and empirical investigation laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution. The institutional support provided by religious bodies allowed scholars to pursue their research without fear of ostracism, fostering an intellectual climate where new ideas could take root and grow. Religion as a source of ethical guidance in science. It is essential to recognize that the influence of religion on science extended beyond mere methodology. Religious traditions also established ethical frameworks that guided the responsible application of scientific discoveries. Their belief in higher moral values and the pursuit of truth provided scientists with a moral compass, ensuring that their research served the greater good. The ethical principles derived from religious thought helped prevent the misuse of scientific knowledge, encouraging researchers to consider the broader implications of their work on society. For centuries, religious teachings have provided a moral context for scientific endeavors. Even today, as we grapple with complex issues such as bioethics, artificial intelligence, and environmental sustainability, the lessons of spiritual tradition remind us that scientific progress must be balanced by a commitment to humanity and the natural world. cross-cultural exchange and global influence. Another significant contribution of religion to the development of science lies in the realm of cross-cultural exchange. During Islam's golden age, scholars such as Al-Farabi, Avicenna, and Averroes made groundbreaking contributions to mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. They translated and expanded upon the works of ancient Greek thinkers, integrating their insights with Islamic intellectual traditions. In doing so, they advanced scientific thought to unprecedented levels. The achievements of Islamic scholars did not remain confined to one region. They eventually found their way into Europe, igniting the flames of the Renaissance. Translations of works by Muslim intellectuals provided European scholars with new perspectives on the natural world, catalyzing a renewed interest in empirical research. This cross-pollination of ideas demonstrates that religion served as a bridge between cultures, fostering a global exchange of knowledge that ultimately enriched the scientific enterprise. Alchemy, a bridge between the material and the spiritual alchemy, occupies a unique place in the history of science, a discipline that at first glance appears steeped in mysticism and occult practices. However, the true aim of alchemists was twofold. They sought both the material transformation of common metals into gold and the spiritual transmutation of the human soul. This dual objective illustrates the alchemist's belief that material experimentation and spiritual purification were intimately connected. Alchemists operated within a framework of religious conviction, viewing their experiments as a way to unlock the secrets of both the physical and the divine. Their meticulous observations and experimental techniques contributed to the development of modern chemistry and physics. In essence, alchemy served as an early laboratory for scientific inquiry, where the boundaries between the tangible and the transcendent were blurred. From religious thought to contemporary challenges, over time, the separation between science and religion became more pronounced, particularly during the Enlightenment. Nonetheless, many of the foundational principles established by religious scholars continue to influence modern scientific thought. Questions regarding the origin of the universe, the meaning of life, and the ethical dimensions of technological innovation often require not only empirical scrutiny, but also deep philosophical reflection. Today, as we confront global challenges, from climate change to the ethical dilemmas posed by emerging technologies, there is a growing recognition of the need to integrate scientific analysis with spiritual wisdom. The lessons derived from ancient religious traditions remind us that science, when grounded in ethical and moral considerations, can serve humanity not only by expanding our understanding of the world, but also by guiding our actions in a responsible and compassionate manner. Synthesis of science and spirituality. A vision for the future, history has shown that true knowledge emerges at the intersection of reason and faith. Religious traditions have not only been instrumental in preserving and transmitting knowledge, but have also shaped a worldview that seeks harmony and truth. In the contemporary era, where rapid technological advancements and global challenges require a balanced approach, the integration of scientific method and spiritual insight offers a promising path forward. A synthesis of empirical research and ethical reflection can pave the way for a future in which technological progress is guided by a commitment to human well-being and environmental sustainability. In this vision, science and religion are not adversaries but complementary forces that together enrich our understanding of the universe and our place within it. By acknowledging the deep interconnections between faith and reason, we open ourselves to a more holistic understanding of the world, a perspective that values both empirical evidence and the moral imperatives that guide our quest for truth. In facing the challenges of our modern era, the fusion of science and spirituality offers not only a means of overcoming crises, but also a source of inspiration for future generations. Embracing this integrated approach may ultimately lead us to a more just, compassionate, and enlightened society.